Hey, you busy? Mm-mm. Okay, let me run something past you real quick. Okay, you may get a little uncomfortable, but we're going to go ahead and talk about money today. Yes, we are. I don't know if you want to get your composition book. I don't know what you want to do, but I feel like it's necessary because I feel like a lot of times we know what has to occur. We just don't know how to get there, what to do. Like I don't understand. And I feel like money is important because the Bible clearly says that you got to be a good steward over your stuff. And if you're faithful in much or in little, you'll be faithful in much. And so you always see all these references about money and what you should be doing, but no one's telling us how to get there. But worry no more. No, we're going to work that out today. Yes, we are. So I am going to go ahead and talk about money because I feel like the objective is to pretty much get to a place where money doesn't control our lives, that we have more control over our money, right? So I want to give 5 steps to monthly budgeting because I know you always calling me frugal and you're always laughing at me when I'm pulling out those coupons. But you know what? Your girl is good with money. That's one of my many blessings. Oh, yeah. I can make $1 stretch and we can all go to Disneyland. No exaggeration. I promise. So we need to go over the expenses so we can see what you can squeeze the opportunities to meet your other goals. Because again, you're not working this hard at this job, working this hard at anything in life for you to not have a return on your investment. I'm sorry, on any level. Whether it's 9 to 5, your business, whatever, you should be seeing a valid, okay, this is why I'm still waking up and even setting my alarm clock, to be frank. So go ahead, come on, let's just jump into the steps. So first step, it's probably going to select the most obvious one, but you can't assume that people know some stuff. So step 1, list all your current bills. Now, this is a little different than listing your debt, right? This is actually the bills that you pay every month, not, the bills that's in collections. And no, we're not worrying about those yet. List all your current bills. This is the way that you get the snapshot so that we can see what's tying up your money on a monthly basis, right? Yeah, you need to actually see that written down. And there's no order to put it in, but how I usually do it is I put the ones that are most important first to me, your rent, your mortgage, electric, gas, and food. Because, yeah, I'm going to need to eat. And those are the most important things to me. So, and if you're not sure, then we're going to go ahead and go to step 2, which is print your last month's, 2 months possibly if you want to be aggressive, but your last month or 2, your bank statements. Now, for this step, you're going to need your handy dandy highlighter. Color of choice. You want to do it the classic yellow, you want to do your purples, your pinks, your blues, but you're going to need a highlighter here, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This step is going to require for you to be a little bit more brave, okay? Be brave and strong, Joshua Flow, because you may see some things that shock you, because this is the opportunity to come face to face with some of your bad financial habits. I know. Nope, nobody wants to go ahead and dig back in their own pamper. It stinks. I know. But it's a necessary evil. Just trust me, okay? And I want you to go ahead and place a star when you do print it out next to those things that are your monthly bills. So if you didn't know it was for step 1, you're definitely going to know it for this one, right? And when you put your stars, that way we can make up our list from step 1 in full confidence. You'll know exactly, okay, this comes out here, this comes out, okay, I forgot about that one. You'll be able to list all of them because you'll see them on your bank statement. I also want you to highlight every fast food restaurant dining experience, okay? And any other inconsistent items withdrawn from your account that is not a part of your monthly or fixed bills. So your fixed bills is essentially things that don't change. Your rent, mortgage, that does not change. That should be at every month. It's the same thing. You know exactly what to budget for. While as your electric, not so much. It's give or take what season it is, how much you cooked. It's a variable. It's not a fixed bill, right? So step 3. Now this part may feel a little childlike, like the game Operation. You know, when you get too close to it's like, you know, it's like, ooh, I have to go back. And the reason is because you're going to have to do some big girl and big boy things here. There's going to be some decisions to be made in step 3. You ready? Okay. Because I know you get heart palpitations. We talk about money, but it's a necessary situation. Okay. Step 3, in this step, we reduce, replace, or rid of certain items. So example, get rid of that cable because you can get Hulu or Netflix. Yeah. Trust me, it can be done. You want a little bit of a testimonial? Okay, because I can see you get uncomfortable. I have not had cable over 10 years. Right. And guess what? I'm still breathing. I'm fine. Things are great. Now, that may work best for me because I'm not a TV person. Yeah, not a lot of shows catch my attention. I couldn't tell you the latest and greatest of what happened with The Walking Dead, with Power, and these are just names that I'm trying to recall because I have no idea what's out now. Couldn't tell you. As a matter of fact, I can probably go watch all the seasons of Friends right now and all of them be new because I wasn't hip to game when it was out. No. Yeah, really. And I know what you're thinking. Like, oh, okay, it was easy for you because you're not a TV person. No, guess what? I have children and a whole husband. And we've been fine. As a matter of fact, and I laughed because this was super ticklish. Hulu and Netflix are different in that Hulu is more toward, regular TV. They have commercial ads and all of that, this and that. So when we're watching a family show, my children actually get irritated because they don't like what my daughter so eloquently causes all the pauses. She doesn't like that something has to come on to stop the show that we're watching and she's 10, okay? Because she is not used to, she's used to the straight playthrough. You press play on Netflix, it keeps continuing to show the show unless it's getting ready to go ahead and end to show you another one. So she was just like, I don't like Hulu. But my husband likes Hulu, so, that gives him all the shows he likes. He likes the anime, so, again, you got to, the give and take, and it's still under the budget, so be cool on that, right? Okay, so let's go back to step 3. We're resuming there. So in this step, you also have to really just be honest with yourself and see how much you eat outside food and why. Is it because you're not meal prepping and you view that as a drag? Or is it because the grocery store is like 2 hours away? Or is it just really that, you can't cook? So you would rather spend money on food is going to be cooked thoroughly than to take a bite of that hamburger and have some blood on your tongue. Like, I can see that. It's a give and take situation here. But you can't make excuses because you can get you a good George Foreman grill. You don't have to be a chef to make sure that you're cooking at home. I mean, it's real easy to go ahead and slap some ragu sauce on some spaghetti noodles. Like, no, because you can't make excuses. You can't. So let's just give it a different perspective. A pack of chicken legs, right? An expensive pack because you can get you some legs for under $5. You got to just dig in the back. I'm just, you got to dig there. And it may not be your favorite part of the chicken, but you know what? Again, you can get you a good pack of chicken for $7. And it's usually about 8 pieces in a pack, which means you can have 2 legs per work week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Go get your favorite vegetable, or you can make a salad. Go ahead and get you a baked potato. If you're not comfortable with the rice experience, if you're just like, man, every time it's just that burnt piece and it's just, I can't. Go ahead and get you a baked potato. You can't go wrong with that. Rinse it off, put it in the aluminum foil, put it in the oven. Listen, boom. Look at you chefing it up. So right there, you got a whole meal. You got you some chicken. You got you your vegetable, and you put a little starch on that. Look at you, adulting. Look at you. And voila. You done meal prepped. You made your meal for the week. Seriously. It don't need missing parts. You need your Tupperware. So you go ahead to your Walmarts or your family, whatever you go, whatever your choice, your store of choice. And you get your Tupperware, depending on what size you want or however. And then boom, there you are with the meal prep. And that's just for work. You can do that all throughout the week if you want to. Go ahead Friday, Saturday out, because you already know probably not going to cook on Sunday. You know, you best. But this bank statement's going to definitely let you know, oh, yeah, you be swiping no swiping with that credit card. You swipe no swipe. You and this debit have a terrible relationship. I need you to, y'all need some space, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. And so when you start to get into that mindset, meal prepping looks different. Right? It's like, it's not that bad. Go ahead and get you some ground turkey, because we're trying to do something a little healthier. Brown that baby up, put some taco seasoning on it. Get you some taco, the soft little flour shells. Or if you like the hard ones, go ahead, let God use you. Go ahead and do that. You slap some sour cream, some cheese. Get you some taco sauce. Maybe, the Taco Bell kind I love from, the mild ones from Taco Bell. Amazed. And then look at you eating a taco. Ground turkey. Listen, if that's not adulting at its premium level, I don't know what is. Grab you some smoothies. Look at you eating fruit. You drinking it now? Oh, because you don't have to get all wrapped up to, juicing is the most. Listen, baby steps, okay? Let's just go ahead and get you some Boathouse. That's the brand of one of the smoothies I love. Let's go ahead and just go get you some, what's the other one? Naked. Go ahead and get you some. And that could be your meal on the go instead of every time you look around. Listen, for every Taco Bell and every other fast food restaurant that's around, there is a grocery store that you can go in and get your fast food, quote unquote, from there. Go get you a smoothie. Go get you an already made salad. It's just a matter of making different choices for the sake of the budget. You understand? And just create a new habit. You wasting gas in the drive-through. Let's just do better for the sake of the budget. Or else you're going to start seeing this $7.99, $11.24. And it's like all of that could have added up to a zillion pieces of chicken, to be honest. And if chicken is not your thing, there's so many other. Listen, Google is your friend. Don't let nobody tell you different, okay? You can find meals that cater to all people. Don't even, for the low, for the healthy. Okay, you don't have to be a zillionaire to be able to do it. The goal is to change habits, that fit your palate, but we're developing the right habits, right? We're getting to a goal here. And your stomach shouldn't be eating your budget. That's just what we're trying to do, right? So that's step 3. Step 4 is start your budget categories. So you literally need to start first with your pay periods, because we need to know when this money is even going to be available to start allocating it, right? So that means if you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, if you get paid on the 15th and the 30th, if you don't know when you're getting paid, you need to call HR and 911. But I digress. But we need a clear indication, whether you're on commission or not, when is there going to be money to cover these bills, right? And so when you're setting your columns for however you get paid, I'm going to just go ahead and choose the 1st and the 15th. So your first column should say the 1st. And then we draw on the line down the middle. Boop. All right. Good job. Second column will be the 15th, because that's our second pay period, right? And so the next step is extremely imperative. This is when you find out when all your bills are due, because we don't want to pay any more stupid tax, okay? Meaning the overdraft and late fees again. That's kryptonite to the budget goals. We're not trying to do that anymore. So we really need to be clear. When are not when you pay them. That's not the due date. That's when you paid them date. When are they due is what we need to go ahead and figure out. So for example, if your bill is due by the 22nd and you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, then that bill, can get paid in either column. It just depends. But if your rent is due by the 1st, then that's already a huge chunk of that column being taken out, right? So you're pretty much you're either going to be putting something when it's exactly due, or you're going to be paying early so that you're not getting late fees. If you have a bill that is due on the 30th, we're not paying that on the 1st. No, we can't afford that. You mess up and the 30th be a Saturday, and then it loops over, and then Go ahead and throw that in the second column, please. Let's just go ahead and pay that on the 15th. Like seriously, we can't afford. We just can't afford any more mistakes. And differentiate between, again, fixed bills, that is like your rent, your car note, daycare. You know, some of these bills you probably going to have to split. So, you know, if the car note is due, let's just say the 27th, if you can't pay all of it on the 15th, the second column, then you may have to split it between the first and the second column just to make sure that it's being covered. Again, the point is we're not paying anything else late. We're either going to pay it exactly when it's due or we're going to pay it ahead of time. But no more if you add up all these late fees, my goodness, like that's money that could have been in your account. We just needed to go ahead and plan a little differently. So again, we're going to go ahead and make this budget work for us. We're not having with them. We're working so hard for money and it's going out our pockets. Like, that's just ridiculous. The goal is to budget everything as if it's fixed, if you can, so that you have a better idea of where your money is going. So the whatever the bill is, your electric bill, let's just say, doesn't have to be a certain amount every single month, but you need a good range. So you can kind of determine, okay, this is how much I need to budget. So if you like, okay, my electric bill, it ranges. It's like from $70 to like $120, $150. Then we're going to go ahead and just budget $150 because you know what the worst case scenario is? You have more money left over. You know what worst case scenario is? If you budget for the lower, you got to pull from somewhere else and we don't know where that somewhere else is coming from. Yep. And then we get into stupid tax and that's just not what we're doing. So this does a few things. One, it makes you aware of your electric usage, right? And every electric company has a link on their website. If you go, they have tips and tricks and things on how to reduce your electric bills. Sometimes it's as simple as just changing your light bulbs to a different wattage. You will see something reduced that you're like, wow. Another thing that I realized, I stopped baking chicken in the oven because it was outrageous. I was like, time out. That Thanksgiving bill, it was not my friend. So I bought a huge pot. I don't even know the size of this thing to be on the stove. I went ahead and I bought, what's that pressure cooker, electric oven, whatever that thing is. I started to make it a hamper because it was so annoying. I didn't know how to do it. But, you know, the thing you plug in and it has the high and the warm. Yeah, whatever that's called. But I went ahead and bought that because I started seeing, anytime I bake something, this electric bill is outrageous. Because, you know, if you're doing you a good baked chicken, I'm talking about off the bone kind of chicken, you're not baking for just 30 minutes. You're getting the house hot. So that's, you know, the temperature's trying to be controlled. And then you burning the heck out of that electric bill. So I had to go ahead and find different ways. And then boom, found it and was like, oh, I won't be doing that again. So I try my best not to use the oven. I don't. Especially if it's not one of those electric friendly, you know what I'm trying to say, the electric, that one, whatever you just said, because if it's not one of those, then you have one of them old school, it's draining every bit of it. It's like you live in a cottage. Just go ahead and just move on. So in this step, pretty much the goal is not to have any more surprise expenses, right? Because essentially that's what destroys the budget. And then we on to our last step. You ready? You're doing good. I thought you was going to give me more pushback than this, but you're doing well. So step 5, one of the most important is to identify if you are a swiper or a cash thrower. What's more painful? And you need to go ahead and stick to that. Now, here's what I mean. The swiper, no swiping means you pull out your card, you pull out your debit, your credit, and you just like throw it in a bag. You know, you swipe and not even calculating. Did you deduct that? Did you go ahead and make sure that was in the budget? But you just so happy, just look at the flick of the wrist. Like you in there, right? Yeah. That means that you have a disconnect when it comes to your money because the swiping of the wristis, if you will, it doesn't trigger for you to go, wait a minute, let me check to make sure this is in the account. You just be like, ugh, I hope it makes it. You say enter my PIN? Enter my PIN? Okay. Ugh. Oh, okay, it went through. Not even knowing, overdraft. You just took from the electric bill budget Great. Now you got to go ahead and tap into something else because you done messed up the rent budget. Like, what you doing? Or you have to identify, are you just a cash thrower? Where, if it's in your wallet, just give it out, whatever, just you have no relationship to that. Now, the average person, especially in our generation, is the swiper, right? So the goal is to navigate over to the other side of what's more painful. So like for me, I am CEO of All Things Swiperage, right? And I had to learn that about myself. I'm like, man, yeah, I just take it out. Just, whoop, yeah, I'm like Zara with it. There you go. So I had to realize I need to go ahead and start carrying cash. And this was a recommendation made by Dave Ramsey, because cash makes you trigger like, can you take that out the bag? And yeah, I don't want that. Because seeing it get out of my hand was like, no. It was like the first day of school, kindergarten for my baby. Like, no. Okay. And so what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to kind of evoke some type of emotion that makes you think about what you're purchasing. Right? And so that's the whole purpose. Now, if you're one of the blessed ones where swiping isn't, that's what makes you trigger. Okay, listen, then you don't need to carry around money. Because maybe when you see green, you see, ooh, I have it. I can keep spending and spending, not realizing that no, that was supposed to be for the week, not for the day. What are you doing? I don't know why you just did that, but okay, great. So when you find out your personality financially, if you will, or your relationship with money, then you have to make that adjustment, because again, we're trying not to eat the budget. We're trying not to destroy all the hard work that we just did through the other steps, right? Do this for a solid 2 months, everything that we talked about, right? And then revisit it. I challenge you to keep the initial bank statements you printed. In the other steps, yeah, those bank statements. And compare it to the statements you print after you start your budget and observe the differences. You should be pumped. Listen, you should be like, I didn't know I could save that much. Like literally, it should just be you should be proud of yourself. Like, listen, who's the big adult? Who's adulting by themselves? You are. And you should be proud. Now, this conversation gave you your starter. You have everything you need. You armed and ready with new information. You go out there and you can start doing some great things, right? But you can't control everything. But you can control your spending habits. Now, don't be fooled by the hype. Everyone doesn't have to be and stay broke. I don't believe in that. I just believe we have to change our relationship to money, change some habits, some behaviors, and how we see money. And then once you get comfortable with budgeting, then I'll call you back and we can start talking about some saving habits, but one step at a time. Let's go ahead and just make sure we master this part, because then we can start seeing, oh, you've done good with that. Then once we have mastered this part, then we can start putting stars next to the things in your budget that shouldn't be here no more. So yes, we went ahead and we budget the minimum of, okay, they're asking $25 for this credit card payment. Let's go ahead and pay $30, try to go ahead and pay it off. But eventually we're going to put a star next to that credit card payment, because this doesn't have to be a part of your monthly budget. What we really want to make sure that we're growing to is that when you look at your budget, it is your absolute necessities. A car note is not a necessity. A credit card bill is not a necessity. That was luxury items that are now eating your budget. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and master this part. This is some homework for you. Yes, it's going to be about, a 30 to 90 day journey, but it's necessary because it will help you for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and just break this generational curse and mindset of just brokenness and, you see $20 left, so you spend the $20. Like, no. Let's do something different. Let's start having a different relationship with money, shall we? But I'm proud of you for sitting through this. I pray that these steps helped you. And I know for a fact, someone that's actually going to need this conversation. So go ahead and send it to them. And then if you want, we can go ahead and talk about the saving options as well. We can get into that once you've done this part, though. Because we need a healthy assessment of what we can save. I don't want to put too much on you first, okay? But good talk. I appreciated you answering. I knew for sure you was going to hang up midway. I was just like, Let me just see if I hear too much silence. I'm going to ask you, hello, you there? Yeah, but you did good. But all right. As my good nanny says, I ain't going to hold you. Go ahead and make your list and print it out. I'm proud of you already. Now that you pumped, just go ahead before that wears off, okay? I'm going to call you back later. We'll talk about savings or something at that point if you want. Cool? Awesome. All right. Later.